And there, the aviators are providing smoke for the Vulcan. She doesn't normally have smoke. An indication of how easy to handle the Vulcan is. She can go this slowly to keep position with these two little aircraft. In fact, they're making more noise than she is. That's Kev Rumans flying. Co-captain is Bill Perrins. Third member of the crew is the Air Electronics Officer Phil Davies. Now they'll do a little teardrop pattern, which is a sort of an antecedent of Concorde. Concorde also had Rolls-Royce Bristol Olympus engines, although rather different ones. Perfect formation there by the two RV8 guys, Alistair Kay and Andy Hill. You just get a little suspicion of Vulcan's engine slightly opening up each time. She did so until the Navy took over the nuclear deterrent in the mid-60s. When she was a nuclear bomber carrier, and she was doing the quick reaction alert that required, she was painted white, anti-nuclear flash, and then when she stopped doing that and became a low level. So here she comes from the right, in the hands of Captain Kev Rumans, Co-Captain Bill Perrins, AEO Phil Davies. Your very own Vulcan. See, everybody thinks she's very noisy, but she can tiptoe up on you. The man who flew the amazing ray last year was in celebration of Her Majesty's Diamond Jubilee and by kind permission of Buckingham Palace. This aircraft was made in 1960, so she had her 53rd birthday last Saturday. Manoeuvrable as a fighter. At the Farnborough Airshow, and I can remember seeing this, one of her test pilots rolled this aeroplane. It didn't go down very well and he was told not to do it again in public, but it's quite capable of being rolled. And she has a fighter-like control stick. Doesn't have a big yoke like most bombers would have. So she really is a bomber pretending to be a fighter. Now you see that bomb bay opening there, the bomb bay doors open, and that is where she carried those 10 tons, 21,000 pounds of bombs. 2015, with a bit of luck, if we can raise the money, she'll be flying until the end of the 2015 season. There was at a time when we thought she might not fly beyond the end of this season because she does require major modification next winter. As she comes by this time, you see those bomb doors closing. If you look at them with binoculars, you may just be able to see inside. heritage support clubs in the world. She lives at what used to be RAF Finningley, where she used to be stationed at one time. That's now snappily known as the Robin Hood Airport, Doncaster, Sheffield, or RAHADS for short. She was actually stationed there between 60 and 68. But she lives now in a very sumptuous hangar there, and the Trust runs regular visitor facilities. You can go and see her and look around her. But you have to remember that she's not funded by the government, and she does not belong to the Royal Air Force. And in fact, just as Kev put the power on there, you heard the beginning of the Vulcan howl, extraordinary noise that is unique to this aircraft. Nobody quite knows why it happens, but it does. It depends on the weather as well. If you can tell your grandchildren you've heard the Vulcan howl. There's one member, or sort of member of the crew that I haven't mentioned, and that's Kevin Stone, Taff Stone. He's the crew chief, the chief engineer, the man who thinks of her as my baby, 558.